Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this beautiful yet slightly crisp morning. Thank you so much to my friends and colleagues from Metro Council for joining us as well. I think the showing that we have here from the Metro Council, from our administration, from nonprofit partners around the city, just show on the week before Christmas on a freezing cold morning shows the commitment that these individuals and organizations that are here today and represented today have for this city and for the future of our city. You know, and I also want to give a special shout out to the Harshaws who are here with us today. We're here in the Parkland neighborhood, and they have done such amazing work in the entire Parkland neighborhood. Thank you so much for your investments, for your time, for your energy. You are truly making a difference. Thank you all. You know, in the business world, businesses often measure their health by the strength of their P&L, their profit and loss statement. I've been reflecting a lot recently, and I think that as cities, we also should be measuring our health by the strength of our P's and L's, parks and libraries. The more we invest in our parks and libraries, the stronger our parks and libraries are, the stronger, the safer, the healthier our cities will be. The stronger and safer and healthier our kids will be, neighborhoods will be. And so it is so wonderful to be here today with colleagues on Metro Council to announce the latest significant investment in our city's parks and libraries to continue to strengthen our city, to continue to support the next generation of our city, to continue to make neighborhoods safer, to continue to invest in workforce development. That's why it is so wonderful here the week before Christmas to celebrate this amazing announcement. It started earlier this year when Metro Council unanimously passed our budget, which began our record-breaking investments into parks and libraries. And today, with Metro Council's approval last Thursday, we are here to celebrate their approval of $25 million in American Rescue Plan funding that will go towards improvements in Louisville's parks and libraries. That includes $15 million for the renovations here at Parkland Library and for other capital projects happening just up the street at the Portland Library, to build a new Fern Creek Library, and for phase 1 of needed renovations at our main libraries. And we're also investing another $10 million in much needed deferred maintenance throughout our park system. That includes new amenities for people who enjoy our parks. That includes fixing things that have been in disrepair for far too long. We are going to aspire to have every one of our parks throughout all of Louisville, particularly the parks that have been neglected for our entire lifetime, to be at the same quality as our newest park that just opened right up the street from here, the amazing Alberta Jones Park. Every park in Louisville should be of that high world-class quality, and this $10 million investment in deferred maintenance is a great another step in that direction to reach that goal. So today is a wonderful day, because we are celebrating this historic investment in parks and library, and also investments in important nonprofit organizations that are doing important work to build our workforce for today and for tomorrow. Organizations like AMPT, like Metro United Way, the Louisville Urban League, University of Louisville, and ElderServe, all who are working in partnership with the private sector, with the city government, to ensure that we have a well-trained workforce for tomorrow so that people can have great opportunities for good-paying career path jobs, and that businesses want to locate in Louisville because we have great parks and great libraries and other great amenities that make it a great place to live, and we have a talented growing pool of individuals from across our entire city that are here to be employed. So I want to thank all of my colleagues on Metro Council for moving so quickly when this opportunity arose to take this important, impactful step, because this is federal money, and this federal government has strict guidelines for how this particular funding can and must be spent. It must be spent by December 31st of 2026. Otherwise, our city would lose out on this once-in-a-lifetime funding. We moved quickly to make that happen. We were not going to let these funds go to waste. and they are making amazing investments. This is an amazing set of investments in our city's future. So thank you so much to all of my colleagues on Metro Council. You can see the strength of support for parks and libraries and workforce development from how many colleagues on Metro Council took time during this week to be with us here today. So let me first start by introducing Metro Council member Tammy Hawkins, whose district we're in right now and who has been a great partner, a great advocate for projects like this in libraries and for also investments in parks. And next year, we're going to start the year hopefully with another great investment, announcing an investment in a park in Council Member Hawkins' district as well. So Councilwoman Hawkins, thank you for hosting us here today.
Good morning. First, I'd like to say thank you to the new administration. I'd like to say thank you to all my colleagues that stand behind me. We can't get anything done without reaching across the aisle. So bipartisan is so vital. It's vital to getting anything done. I want to say that first. So I want to say thank you to not only my Democrats, but I also want to say thank you to my Republicans for also understanding the needs in communities like this. Parkland has been underserved for a very long time. And you can find anyone that is willing to give you their money. But I'm going to talk about the people that have given a lot of their time. Time is something that you don't get back. You can get anything else back in this world but your time. I want to say thank you. Thank you to Judy Littman, who does not live in this district, who has been a pillar in this district and a huge advocate for this library. I want to say thank you so much to Richard Pickering and Lauren Pickering, who has sat at multiple tables to advocate for so many things in Parkland. I also want to commend and thank you, Paula Harshaw and Frank Harshaw, who has also given up so much of their time, to Attica Scott, who's also given up a tremendous amount of time. The Friends of the Library, they have also pushed daily. I have been thriving with so many community leaders, and I cannot leave out Tamika Jackson, who has been a huge advocate for the Parkland community itself. Jessica Green, who also was a part of laying the foundation for this, alongside Bill Hollander, who worked together to make this happen. We're just coming along grabbing that torch, crossing the finish line. So I just want to say thank you. Parkland was rioted back in the 60s, and it has been overlooked. And now it's just another part of the revitalization. So I just want to say thank you so much to Mayor Greenberg, to the new administration, for making this possible along with my colleagues. This shows working together collectively, we can get so much done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Hawkins. And I should also mention that one of the things this project represents is our commitment to fully funding projects when we see needs as a city and we work together to make them happen. This was a project that was partially funded. As Tammy mentioned, great individuals worked so hard to get it started, and we needed to complete it. Partially funded projects, partially complete projects do not make the impact that fully completed projects that we have. And so I just want to thank again my colleagues on Metro Council for supporting this full funding of this project and all of the other projects. We hope we're going to be pushing the folks that are doing the hard work every day to make this library come back alive hard. We're hoping we could open, it'll in all likelihood be 2025, but we're pushing for that to be as soon as possible. Two other Metro Council members here are going to share some thoughts on behalf of all their colleagues. Next up is another strong champion for parks and libraries throughout this entire city, whose district is very nearby, Councilman Philip Baker.
Good morning, everybody. Come on, wake up, wake up. U of L UK is not playing today, so we up, all right? Well, one, I am so incredibly excited to see each and every one of you all. First, let me say to every partner, to every person who is a part of this, thank you. Thank you for the work, because organizations like AMP, Elder Serve, the Urban League, University of Louisville, if I forgot somebody, Charged to the Head, and Metro United Way. It's groups like you that continue to do the work and are doing the heavy lifting for us. So we continue to thank you to our mayor and his administration team. Thank you for being committed to equity across all of Louisville. Thank you. If those who don't know, when the DOJ report dropped, one of the most concerning things, and I'll continue to say this, was the first 12 pages where they talked about how you can live on one side of the district and then the other side and have a 12-year difference in life expectancy. So thank you for continuing to tackle those problems. I was talking to a great man about a week ago, and he knows who he is. He's in the audience, but I won't call him out. But we talked about what the commitment of fixing broken windows were to neighborhoods. And so projects like this, infrastructure, things like this are so important because it gives people access and continue to fix those broken windows. And my father always told me it's not necessarily the ceiling for some people, but it's the sticky floor. I'm going to let that stick in. It's not necessarily the ceiling for people, but it's the sticky floor. And so thank you for your continued partnership. Thank you to my Metro Council colleagues. When I tell you it is not easy to talk about $40 million and what we're going to do with, but you guys made it delightful. So thank you all to everybody. I just want to say thank you to all the parks organizations that are here, Olmsted Parks Alliance, Louisville Metro Parks, and just thank you for everybody. And for citizens who are watching, know we are committed to serve you. We are here for you, and we'll continue to do this every day. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Baker. And also the other council members that are here with us today include Shamika Parrish-Wright, Betsy Rui, Jeff Hudson. I think I've got everybody because I'm going to introduce Andrew in a second. Oh, and Ben Reno Weber is also here. And I think, that the strength of Metro Council right now is a wonderful thing for our city, where we can really tackle the challenging problems we're facing and look at innovative, impactful solutions to make it better for everyone in our city. I'm so blessed to not just be working with a strong Metro Council, but also before the end of the year, I just want to also publicly thank a few of my deputy mayors that are here, other members from our administration that have worked so hard our first year in office to partner with Metro Council, to partner with nonprofits across the city, to partner with the private sector, to partner with the state and federal governments to do everything we can to move our city forward in a new direction. And as we think about the future, we also reflect on the past. And so to conclude here today, I'm going to introduce Council Member Andrew Owen, who has a personal connection with this project, whose mother spent a lot of time here as well. And we thought it would be fun to share some personal stories from him as we think about the future of this library, reflecting on its great historic past. Councilman Owen?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be quick here, but the parks and libraries that we have funded are so important, but this particular library, for me, has additional meaning. My mom lived at 18th and Ormsby, and she was born to a relatively large family, and they lived in a small house, and her parents ran a tight ship, and they didn't let her go many places. This library was my mom's world. She went from the German Methodist Church to her house to this library, and that was basically her world. And it sparked the curiosity in her that got her through Shawnee High School, got her through Western Kentucky University, got her through U of L with her master's. And so standing here in front of this library is important to me because my mom passed away earlier this year, and she would be so excited that another generation of people who live in Parkland are going to be able to come here, and it's going to spark their curiosity like it did hers. And so I just feel so happy to be here in this space, and so happy to be able to know that this library is going to come back to life for this neighborhood and for this city. And I'm really happy on behalf of my mom. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to say that.
Thank you so much, Councilman Owen. And we are not done with great library and literacy related announcements this week. There's going to be another great announcement tomorrow where we're unveiling another bookmobile. That's an important part of the system at Engelhart Elementary School tomorrow. Again, having physical structures like this is critically important, and also being able to bring library to kids and others who can't get to libraries is critically important as well. And so to have another bookmobile in our system is great, and my guess is my friends on Metro Council are going to want to continue supporting even more of that in the years ahead. So we have one more great announcement tomorrow as well. With that, thank you all very much for coming, and the members of Metro Council and I would be happy to take any questions on these historic investments if any members of the media have any questions.
Question, I understand this money is coming from the reallocation from some controversy that's taken place. Can you just explain where the money is coming from and how you decided to spend it?
Sure. Well, just to go way back in time, the city of Louisville received an allocation of $388 million under the American Rescue Plan funding. Metro Council last year, prior to the current Metro Council and prior to me taking office, allocated nearly all of those funds. One of those investments was a $40 million workforce development investment package. And then earlier, a couple of months ago, I can't remember the exact time, a few months ago, following the Ethics Commission's report involving the vote by Metro Council related to this $40 million investment, I terminated that contract with the CEOC Council. So that was $40 million that needed to be reallocated. And quickly, as I mentioned, we have very strict timelines that need to be followed here. Otherwise, this money will be lost. And so in conversations with council and others, we have redeployed that money as we've announced here today. We are investing in the organizations that were initially committed funding in that first $40 million, and we named them earlier: AMP, Metro United Way, U of L, the Louisville Urban League, and ElderServe, all directly or indirectly had funds coming from that initial allocation. And then also the opportunity to invest in parks and libraries presented itself, which I firmly believe is a workforce development investment as well. We just recently completed our economic development action planning, and we released that a week or two ago. And the first item in that is clear, what people are looking for when they're making decisions about where they want to live, where businesses want to locate to create good paying career path jobs, is quality of place. And one of the most important things in adding for quality of place for any city is the quality of parks and libraries, particularly in communities that has historically not had great parks and libraries. And so this investment is about the people who live here today as much as it is attracting and retaining people for the future.
Libraries had funding from previous ARP spending. What conversations has your administration had with library leadership about the need for more funding?
We definitely need more funding for libraries. We have other libraries that we would like to build. We have other libraries that we would like to renovate. And we also need more funding for the amazing staff of the Louisville Public Library. They need more resources to do the programming that I think my colleagues in Metro Council and I want our libraries to have for people throughout the city. So we're going to continue as we look towards next year's budget and beyond. I know I'm going to be engaging in colleagues with our colleagues on Metro Council for what we can do to continue to support our libraries.
There was smaller libraries particularly my house getting funding for last year with ARP funding. So what was identified as the gap that needed this new?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, I mean, partially funded projects are not particularly helpful. And so we are trying to, this year we have spent a lot of time looking at partially funded projects in the city to make those projects a reality. And these 4 projects were all partially funded. Part of that was because the funding was done before the plans were complete. And part of that is, as you all know, over the past couple of years, interest rates have gone up significantly, construction costs have gone up significantly, and so the cost of completing these projects was higher, just as it is for construction projects, not just for city projects, but for private projects across the city and across the whole country. So now we're able to fully fund these projects and realize the vision that the council initially wanted to realize over a year ago.
I understand we're specifically here to talk about the money for parks and libraries. You mentioned the $40 million, and this year's 25. So are you able to share what?
Sorry, the $25 million is for parks and libraries. That includes $5 million for libraries that had previously been committed. The remainder of the funds of that $40 million is invested in those nonprofit organizations that I mentioned, AMP, Urban League, et cetera, ElderServe, et cetera.
And also, I'd be remiss to say, if you guys would love to send it out to donate to all these wonderful organizations, I know Parks Alliance will take it, Olmsted will take it, AMP, Urban League. So you all be champions for us. So we're all in need. So thank you.
Well said. I think that, Councilman Baker, that's a great way to wrap it up, that this is truly a public-private partnership. You heard all of the great folks from the private sector that run nonprofits that are involved in the private sector that have helped make these projects a reality. We look forward to continuing these partnerships into the next year and beyond. Thank you all very much. Happy holidays. And I think the strength of the turnout today shows that our city will continue to invest in our parks and libraries. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all.